Broadcast. Well, September is National Prostate Awareness Month, so now more than ever, this topic really needs to be talked about. This type of cancer will affect 1 in 6 men. But the good news is that more than 2.5 million men diagnosed with prostate cancer are still alive today. And Terry Schmidt from the Harry M. Schmidt Foundation, which provides financial assistance for this type of treatment, is here along with one of our friends, one of our favorites, Mr. Scott Murray, who is also a prostate cancer survivor.
Hi, Lisa.
Welcome, both of you.
Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too. Okay, tell us about this foundation and what you hope, the money that you raise will do.
We are hoping that with the proceeds that we gather with the Harry M. Schmidt Foundation through events that we are hosting, that we will be able to provide funding to men who can't afford the treatment.
And tell us why you are so passionate about this. You were personally affected by this.
Yes. My husband, Harry Schmidt, who is in the NHRA Hall of Fame, he battled prostate cancer for 4 years. And knowing the expense and the cost of what's involved in all of the treatments, I knew that absolutely that there are some families out there that cannot afford the treatments. And so I'm very passionate about helping others, and Harry was as well, as giving back to the community. So yeah, that's our mission statement to our foundation.
He lived with prostate cancer for 4 years?
4 years he battled it, yes.
A very long 4 years, I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure. And then Scott, your story is very interesting as well.
Well, it's kind of funny because my dad had prostate cancer. It was diagnosed about 10 years before he passed away. And he passed away as a result of it metastasizing to other parts of his body.
Which is often what happens, right?
You don't actually die that often from prostate cancer, but it metastasizes to other organs or bone or whatever.
Right.
And as a result of that, that's usually what you die from. But I was part of that early detection, and that's key. And without showing any favoritism here, a doctor at the UT Southwestern, I was speaking to a group down of doctors, and he heard me say about my dad, that my dad was on his last legs at the time. This is 7 years ago. And he said, "You ever have a PSA?" And I said, "I get one every 6 months, not one every year." And he said, "How about a free PSA?" And I said, "No." And he was very proactive. And he said, "We ought to give you a free PSA, kind of the difference between an MRI and just a regular X-ray." I did that. He said, "Let's look at it." Did a biopsy, and already I had cancer in both capsules of my prostate.
So explain what the PSA test is, then.
It stands for prostate-specific antigen, and it's a, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but an enzyme or something, but they can spot something in there that's a cell of some type that potentially can become cancerous.
But how is that different than any of the testing that you were getting every 6 months? Was it any different?
That is a PSA, but it didn't show up. Sometimes it shows up, and you want to watch also for the elevation. If it stays constant, you're in pretty good shape. Mine was the same for 6 years, and I still had that. And it's very slow-moving. It's a very slow-moving cancer. And a lot of times you just don't know you have it. But because of their diligence and because of that biopsy, I'm here to talk about it today.
What do you think the fear that men have is about being tested?
Probably that there's an opportunity or possibility of them being diagnosed with it, but there are actually 2 forms of diagnosing this cancer, and that is also with a physical exam. And I think that's one thing that the men kind of skip.
It freaks them out a little bit, let's just say it.
It's a rectal exam to get right to the point. And
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to endure that.
Right.
But 70% of most prostate cancers are detected by physical exam. The PSA, as Scott said, can elevate, it can go up or down, and there are different things that cause that to happen. Whether there's an infection in the prostate, an enlarged prostate, some men may think that they have cancer because of that.
They just have to get it done. Look, if we go to the gynecologist, y'all need to go get your PSA.
Well, women are so proactive.
Exactly right.
Yeah, women are rock stars. They're proactive. They understand it. 1 out of every 8 women get breast cancer, but they're there getting those mammograms every year. 1 out of every 6 men, prostate cancer, they don't think about it. It's somebody else's problem, not going.
Let's talk about the event.
Can we? Yes. Sparkles and Speed. Harry was not only in drag racing, but he was also in the jewelry business. So that's what...
How convenient for you.
Yes. So that's why we have the beautiful, beautiful logo of Sparkles and Speed. But this is our first annual event that we're going to have at the Texas Motorplex. And we are one of the only 9 charities that the NHRA has recognized as a charity in the community that we're under their umbrella. So that's why we chose that location, and because Harry is also in the Hall of Fame. We have Tracy Lawrence coming in as our musical guest.
Oh,
he's rolling in
Tracy.
at 11.
Yes, he's been here.
11 o'clock on Friday. and we're looking forward to that. But again, we also are extremely honored and blessed to have the support of Texas Oncology, and we're excited about that new proton center that's coming in Irving, which is the state-of-the-art new technology about pinpointing the exactness of the cancer cell without side effects or damaging any surrounding tissue.
Oh, so important.
So
and of course, Scott, you'll be emceeing.
I will be. So I'm looking
lending
forward to
your
it.
fantastic voice to the event.
Have you met my agent?
Absolutely.
Where's my 10%?
Yeah.
No, what a great event. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing it with us, and best of luck to you. I hope you raise a ton of money. I hope it's a huge success for you.
Thank you.
Okay, the Sparkles and Speed fundraiser, by the way, is Friday night at the Texas Motorplex in Ennis, and you can get more details and buy tickets at the HarrySchmidtFoundation.org. And also, I would imagine, make donations even if you can't attend the event, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next, it is the Seattle-based trio Barcelona, whose soulful, sultry rock is just what you need to rev up your Wednesday. We'll be right back with one of their amazing songs.